Now, here's the thing. We talked about protecting Justin Fields. There's a new report coming out now where Darnell Wright might be the answer that the Bears are looking for.
Did they beat Houston?
They did beat Houston.
There we go.
They did beat Houston. Shout out to Jurko.
Darnell Wright. Let's go. We got Darnell Wright now.
Jurko out here with the memory.
There we go.
Darnell Wright is being talked about as the guy the Chicago Bears are really looking to bring in. Tennessee, right tackle.
Has played left tackle, but played right tackle out of necessity last year.
Here's my question. Is he a surefire hit? That's how he's being talked about right now. Of course, nobody knows, right? But is he a surefire hit for what the Bears need? Because I've watched tape on Broderick Jones. I've watched tape on Paris Johnson. I love what those guys do, but they're left tackles that we're going to say, hey, can you go stand over there because we believe in Braxton Jones here at left tackle. I don't know if I saw enough, but polls have seen enough to say that. Is he the Chicago Bears right tackle of their future if they take him here?
Well, Darnell Wright, if you watch him play, I mean, he's one hell of a player.
He's a monster. He made Will Anderson look human.
he was highly rated coming out. I don't usually say, hey, I need a right tackle at number 9, though. Right. That's not what you usually do. But guess what? You're at 9.
You're at 9.
So that's where you're at. What do you need and what are you thinking about? So, I mean, Braxton Jones, can he play right tackle? That would be your other question. Can he play right tackle? Because if he can play right tackle, then it makes sense taking Paris Jones.
Well, he
or Johnson,
Paris
whatever.
Johnson. He's being talked about going to Arizona all of a sudden. They're out on Will Anderson. Where'd that come from?
Hey, that's how it always happens. Yeah. And there's misinformation, and there's this and that. Remember, Arizona's trying to move back too.
Yeah.
They got a quarterback. They're trying to move back. They're trying to say a bunch of different things. There's 1,000 pieces of misinformation out there. And then all of a sudden, Will Levis is back. Right? Will Levis is back. All of a sudden,
takes tests well.
People had him out. Yeah, the S2. I don't even know what the hell the S2 is. But they had him up there for a while. Then he's out of the first round.
Yeah.
And now he comes screaming back into the first round. C.J. Stroud is a lock at number 1 for an extended period of time. Then all of a sudden, C.J. Stroud is not athletic enough. Bryce Young's too small. Everybody is down on him for being too small.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, Bryce Young is the lock to be up there in negative 225 if you want to get a wager in on him. So I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. I think Wright can play. Yes. I think Wright can play 10 years in the league.
Yes.
So if one was to get him, if the Bears were to get him at 9, I think they're going to get one hell of a player. You match him with Jenkins. Right, Nate Davis. What's Nate Davis doing?
So Tevin Jenkins kind of like half confirmed, right? He did the like tweet confirm, where it's like just a gif of like you already know what it is, of that he might be moving to left guard.
All right, then I got him at left guard, and I got
Nate
Braxton
Davis,
Jones.
right
So
guard.
if I bring the tackle, I think my offensive line is solidified. Did they say goodbye to their left guard last year?
Cody Whitehair. No, he is here. Cody Whitehair is still on the team.
Right.
He might be our center because we've heard nothing about Lucas Patrick.
Right.
When's the last time we heard that Lucas Patrick was either healthy or not?
If I go to war with Wright, I go to war with Nate Davis, Cody Whitehair, who's making $10 million.
I was surprised they kept him.
All right, and the guy on the left side is going to be Tevin Jenkins and then Braxton Jones.
Yep. I'm not mad.
I can work with that. I can work with that.
Did Braxton impress you enough?
The problem is you've addressed everything. The fact that he played every single play was impressive.
Yes.
And as a lower round draft choice, he came in and he fought his ass off. There are times he was exposed. But guess what? If you play left tackle in this league, there's going to be times you become exposed.
They're pretty good on the other side.
Every left tackle in the world has been exposed at one time.
Who was week 1, right? Dominique Robinson's killing. Oh, who's San Francisco's left tackle? All pro.
Not McGlinchey.
McGlinchey was right.
Trent Williams.
Oh. Hey, he lifted his foot every time I knew it was going to be pass.
This is like a test. You got to think of everybody in the world. Trent Williams, yeah.
It was like, hey, maybe don't give your secrets away, but also he was still really good all season.
You got to remember too, though, down and distance usually gives everything away in the NFL.
Yeah,
you go down and distance, then you go personnel, and now you got yourself about an 80% shot of what they're going to do, whether it's going to be run pass. So that gives it away anyway. That's why them guys get in their stances that they get in. All they're doing is confirming the 80% you already know.
Yeah.
So I really worry about that. I worry about stances when 4 guys look like they're going to charge and beat the crap out of somebody, and then one guy's sitting light on his hand. Okay, he's moving. What direction is he moving?
Yeah.
Then you look where the running backs are at. Then you give yourself a little bit of an idea of what they plan on doing. So, I was so short. I saw between Don Mosbar's legs.
Yeah.
And then every time Hostetler would separate his bottom hand, it was coming. The football was coming. I looked like a world beater that day. Not because I was a great player.
Yeah.
I had 2.5 sacks and 9 tackles. Like 3 of them were for TFLs. They must have thought Hercules was out there. You know, they couldn't figure out why the hell I was flying. Steve Wisniewski, Max Montoya.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell nobody. I kept my mouth shut. I was playing nose. It was right there. Then when Billy came in, and Billy's taller than I was, Billy Moss,
Yeah.
I told him, you got to look at the hands. I'll tell Billy's when
He's your teammate.
he's playing nose tackle. I go, look at the hand. I go, when he drops, it's time to go. Boy, he and I look like we were the greatest nose tackles in the world. I thought they were going to sign me after that. I thought Oakland, when I became a free agent, I thought Oakland was going to sign me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the call?
No.
You did not get the call.
No, of course not. Jacksonville gave me a call. Dick Trout was down there. I went down
They never even picked up the phone for you.
I like the offensive line, but the defensive line for the Bears is just horrendous.
It is.
It's terrible. So would you address the linebacking situation? These linebackers are going to be fighting for their life with the defensive line they have in front of them. Fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
And so unless they get some quality defenders in here, and they're out there, they're out there. June 1st, they might be out there. But God, if you don't find me, if you get the 32, or you can get 32 if you trade back, and Cansey's there, or Breesy's there.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mavey from Michigan. Maybe something or another. He was number 8. I forget what he's like the 6th ranked defensive tackle. But you've got a bunch of defensive tackles that are going to be available early 2nd round, late 1st round. That, man, I'd like to see the Bears maybe get a shot at one of those guys if they can trade back up.
Yeah.
Trade down and acquire picks.
Well, I think that's the interesting thing about Darnell Wright to me, right? Like, he's not. It doesn't seem like he's going top 10. It doesn't seem like he's going top 15. I've seen him on mock drafts as low as 17.
Right. And there's guys,
a trade back scenario there.
The kid from Ohio State, Paris
Johnson.
So they're saying that there's a lot more love in the NFL for Paris Johnson than it is for the scouts that are putting all these mock drafts out there. That Paris Johnson might be one of those guys. You saw as quarterback, Will Anderson, quarterbacks, I should say quarterback, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, the kid from Texas Tech, the pass rushing defensive end.
Tyree Wilson.
That's him, Tyree Wilson. So you have him, corner.
Yep.
Corner from Illinois and the corner from Oregon. And then
Christian Gonzalez.
Right. Yep. Then you start your offensive tackles at 9.
Yeah.
So the Bears are at 9. No offensive tackles are off the board.
Right.
What they're trying to tell you is that Paris Johnson could go earlier. And if Paris Johnson goes earlier, you kick your corners back to the Bears.
Yeah.
So you got one corner will go before the Bears, the second corner. Or Bijan Robinson.
You still in on that?
So we
talked about that yesterday.
I'm not, but you've got, say, Paris Johnson and Bijan Robinson get picked before you.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, both your corners slide to you.
Yeah.
Both of the corners sliding. Somebody needs a corner. That's when you're listening. That's when your ears perk up.
Right.
Who wants to come up for a corner? But but that's a weird scenario that could be out there. If Paris Johnson is getting more love in NFL draft rooms than Mel Kiper and the rest of these guys want to give him, and he goes, and then Bijan surprises the world and goes to Atlanta.
Right.
Nah, but I thought Atlanta just drafted a running back in the 1st round or the 2nd round. They just got a high running back.
2nd round was that Alec Pierce, or is he Colts? Alec Pierce might be the Colts. They got
everybody seemed to get a running back out of the 1st round last year. Denver got one.
Yeah.
I remember Denver got one. He ended up getting banged up. But Atlanta got one, and he played. And he played. And I just don't remember if it was in the 2nd or the 3rd round, but they put a pick on a running back, and he played, but then I think he got banged up a little bit.
I feel like me and you were in agreement on the running back conversation. I can't go high.
I can't go high. And it's not what the Bears need. You have the number 1 rushing team in the league.
Yeah.
You already said goodbye to Montgomery because you've got the other guy,
Khalil Herbert. Yep.
Herbert is a yard better per rush then your guy, so he can't pass block. I get it. Then get somebody who can pass block.
Hey, how about get the lineman so the running back's not pass blocking every play?
Yeah, and the tight end. Let your tight end get freed up a little bit. Though I'm not sold on Cole Kmet either.
It's an interesting situation. That whole thing is. Let's get into the fourth quarter of this year. Let's close it out with this, man.